Welcome to this week's edition of the Dakota Angler 2-Minute Fishing Report. Well, first off, before we get started with the report, I want to remind all of you to mark your calendars for May 1st through the 5th for our semi-annual Rapala bucket sale. You buy this bucket for 10 bucks. That comes with a nice cord and everything else, a nice pouring handle to say the least. Buy this for 10 bucks and everything that you can fit in it that is from Normark, in other words, from Rapala, Suffolk, VMC, 13 Fishing, everything that you can fit in that bucket, it will be 20% off. Again, May 1st through the 5th, our semi-annual Rapala bucket sale. So don't forget about that. Second of all, I hope all of you had a great holiday, great Easter with your family and friends. I know we did. We were open, and a lot of people took advantage of that. A lot of people were out and enjoying the water with their families. You know, and despite the weather the past week, Sunday turned out halfway decent. Saturday was better than Sunday, and Monday was a decent day as well. And then we had rain moving in as well, and this week looks very unsettled. But again, people that went out had decent success. The lakes up in the northeastern part of the state that produced walleyes this past week included Waubay, Bitter, Blue Dog, Midland, and then Goose, 3-buck, Dry Lake by Clark, and Big Stone, Casey Slough, and then also Hazelton, North Rush, and then also Swan. Down the southeastern part of the state, the lakes that produced walleyes included Dry Lake by Willow Lake, and then also Ponset, Thompson, Henry, next to Thompson, and then also a few being caught at Whitewood, 81 Ponds, Campbell, Madison, North Island, Scott Slough, if you can believe it. And then also Vermilion, Wall Lake, and Wall Lake you have to sort quite a bit. And then finally Twin. And remember, Twin is the trophy lake. Now, what have you guys been doing? Really? Jigs and minnows, jigs and plastics have been working really well. The minnow wrap, we sell here exclusively, you know, right here at the store. Make sure you take advantage of it. Guys are starting to use that and having quite a bit of success with that as well. But mainly a lot of jigs and minnows and jigs and twister tails or jigs and swim baits. And then the crappie bite around the area is starting to pick up again. As the lilacs start to bloom, the crappie bite really is in full swing, and the lilacs are just starting to bud right now. But the lakes that produce crappies included Scott Slough, Vermilion, Thompson, Ponset, Madison, Kempesca, as well as Pelican. And really what the guys have been doing to catch the crappie? Jigs and minnows underneath a float. So nothing, you know, too tough to say the least. In this week's edition of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to talk about line because honestly, folks, it's probably the thing that is the most important to your fishing success that a lot of people overlook because they think, well, I just got new line on last year, I can make it last one more year. Folks, I highly suggest that you swap out the line, change out the line every year. And if you go fishing quite a bit, more often than once a year. But we spool line right here at the store. No matter what type of line you want, we'll spool it for you. Bring it by, drop it off, whatever you want to do. We'll include monofilament, braid, as well as lead core. So again, we're going to help you choose the line that fits your fishing needs. And that's the whole key. You know, if you're not fishing a lot and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I would recommend people to use the monofilament. There's a number of different monofilaments out there. We stock, you know, Trilene as well as the Suffolk line. And by the way, the Suffolk line is included in the bucket sale that we just talked about at 20% off May 1st through the 5th. There's two different types. You know, one that's going to be a little bit more geared to more casting. The other one's going to be a little bit more tougher or more abrasion resistant. And so again, we'll tailor that to your fishing needs and desires at that time. Braided line, a lot less memory, a lot more strength, and a smaller diameter, so you can fit more line on that. I myself will use braid. I think it's a great line for jigging. If I'm going to be trolling with it as far as bottom bouncing, I'm going to go more to a monofilament because that sensitivity really doesn't matter much with when you're pulling bottom bouncers. But pulling crankbaits, a lot of people will use a 10-pound braided line. And again, we have different types of braided line out there. The 832 from Suffolk, and again, that will be on sale May 1st through the 5th. And then also the Trilene and the Power Pro, the Fire Line and the Power Pro will also be an option for you as well. There's two new lines out there this year that I want to talk about a little bit. Is that Berkeley Forward. We've mentioned that a little bit right here. That comes in two different colors. It's a line that is geared really towards, it's tailored or promoted towards forward-facing sonar fishermen. But honestly, this is a line that will cast a lot further than normal lines. It's a braid. It's a smaller but a stronger braid, a little bit more sensitive, but a lot more, has a greater castability, if you will. And then the other one is the Suffix Revolve, very similar, smaller diameter than your traditional braid, a lot stronger and a lot less memory, and again, a much more, get further distance out there on your cast. And this Revolve will be also on sale, included in the bucket sale at 20% off May 1st through the 5th. So the whole key here is, folks, don't take new line too lightly. It is important. It is something that a lot of people overlook. Stop on by or take a look at your line and see if you can feel any abrasion along that line. If you do, it needs to be replaced. Don't take the chance of catching a trophy walleye or a trophy fish on some line that you put on your reel 2 or 3 years ago. It's always the best option available to you is to put fresh line on at minimum once every year. And if you have any questions, stop on by here at the store. We'll be more than happy, again, to pick out the line that fits your fishing needs, and we'll be more than happy to do that here in the store in person or over the phone at the same time. And now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, all you have to do is send it to me, and you can do so by sending it to todd@dakotaangler.com. And before we end this week's report, I want to again remind you of our semi-annual Rapala bucket sale. 20% off everything that you can fit in the bucket that is not already on sale from Normark. In other words, 13 Fishing, Suffix line, VMC, and Rapala. So again, May 1st through the 5th, everything that you can fit in that bucket for 20% off. And you have to be here in the store to take advantage of it. If you have any questions about what may be in that sale, in that bucket, or the things that you may see behind me, or that's on our store floor or on our website, give us a call at 605-336-9132. And speaking of our website, everything that is on our store floor is also available on our website, so don't hesitate to take advantage of that. And our website is dakotaangler.com. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report. For Dakota Angler, I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope all of you had a great Easter. Stay healthy, and as always, stay safe.